I'm saying no to 2 serial killer stories a week. So,
Really?
Yeah.
सब बोल रहे हैं आप killer होंगे.
When I started out, I thought I would not be with an actress or anybody from the industry just because I probably was very angry at the industry. Somewhere Shah Rukh Khan Saab said ki if you want to be successful, give up on good hygiene, good food, good life. Your life is going to be tough. You're going to be not getting enough sleep, enough food. You won't eat on time, you will sleep on time. And I was like, God, I don't know. I don't think I have it in me. I really need my 8 hours sleep and I need my afternoon nap as well.
Vijay, it's so lovely to have you on Now Binging. This is our signature show for streaming. And I feel like what used to be true of actors in the mid-90s, you know, when I first started out, actors used to do multiple projects. और उस वक्त Anupam Kher was like madly busy and लोग कहते थे कि you can't make a film without raw stock and Anupam Kher. So I feel today you can't make a streaming show without Vijay Varma.
Well, I don't know. I think I've seen enough long phases of not being employed. So I think right now when I'm getting really good opportunities, मैं सब जगह हूँ.
And hona bhi chahiye. And it's such a joy. You're such a fine actor. So Vijay, this is the thing. Your success is a testament to the power of talent. Because you're here on the shoulders of pure, blazing, incredible talent.
Thank you.
Right? And you've seen long years of struggle, of the small roles, of just waiting. But now that you're spoiled for choice, what is the hurdle? What is sort of the next big challenge?
Is to sometimes, you know, because it's a really happy problem.
It is. It's a
it's
fab
a really
problem.
a problem that I love because it's like choosing between 2 fab scripts and 2 fab maybe good directors because you're sometimes stuck with a certain timeline. So I'm in that kind of a problem. So I'm very happy to be here. And we're trying to make the most of all kinds of interesting stories that is coming. So I don't see any hurdles. I only see like great opportunities now. And my entire focus right now is to not get worried about the frills and try to work on the characters because that can take a back seat if you get too caught up in the frills.
What do you mean by frills?
Frills is, you know, if you take up too much apart from work because there are other ways of earning money and there are other means to like a simple thing like I've come here today, right? So I want to focus on the interview because it's important that I'm here speaking with you. It's not often that we get a chance to sit across and have a conversation. But then there is this, you know, सुबह उठा आपको ready होना है, फिर आपको photos खींचना है, फिर photos approve करना है. So all that is frills for me. So I try to minimize that as much as I can. Yeah. And I've managed to do that considerably well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not sort of being swayed by the stardom.
No, I think I have never. When I didn't have it, I used to be wondering what it must be like. Yeah. But when I tasted a little bit of it, I figured that it's a fleeting thing. It's not, and it's also like very binding. It can completely bind you to do a certain kind of job all your life.
Yeah.
And that's scary, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then you have to serve your stardom.
Yeah. This is true. And we definitely don't want you serving any stardom because you're doing everything else too well. Vijay, you started playing a cop, Monsoon Shootout.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most recent series, Kalkut, is also playing a cop. But this is a good cop. That was a good cop too.
Yeah.
That 10 years ago, it's 10 years of Vijay Varma.
Yes.
Which is a wonderful milestone. What's interesting is that you called the Kalkut character a palate cleanser. Right?
For you.
But in other interviews, you also said कि I'm very happy, I'm madly in love, and I feel my villain era is over. My romance era is starting. So are we going to see a completely different Vijay Varma?
So I can get bored of what I have done. So that's what has happened. As much as I enjoy doing it, but I can't do enough. I can't do more of it. I knew it
Being
when
the bad guy.
No, a kind of a bad guy. I would love to be a supervillain. It's not like I'm not saying no to bad guys. I want them to surprise me. Darlings, that Hamza surprised me. I've never seen a man like that on screen. The arc that he has, he didn't change. He started as an asshole, he continued to be an asshole, and he died as an asshole. So there's no arc per se. That was very interesting for me. ये सुधरा ही नहीं, इसके अंदर सुधरने का स्कोप ही नहीं था. And I knew that I can only play one serial killer in this career. It's boring otherwise. So I picked the right one for the heart.
Yeah.
And then I'm done with it. So I know that I'm saying no to 2 serial killer stories a week. So,
Really?
Yeah.
सब बोल रहे हैं आप किलर होंगे.
They're like babies को काटते हैं, फिर babies को store करते हैं. तो I'm like, bhai, I'm done with my serial killers.
And you're like अब हो गया. बहुत लोगों को मैंने मार लिया. है ना?
Nah, I think Anthony Hopkins did one and that's enough.
It's a good role model to have.
Yeah.
So you want to explore all sorts of, it's not necessarily a heroic persona.
I've never been really attracted to heroic personas. I always like somebody who's needs to be a flawed for me to understand this is a real person. That's what Tony Montana did. He is a man with incredible greed for ambition, to become bigger. And that became an archetype, template for several other actors to follow and several other writers to write those stories, right? So I get attracted to very real, innate human qualities. But just to have, say, a hypothetical situation, a film like Bawarchi, I don't know what I will do, but it'll be interesting.
This is Rajesh Khanna's Bawarchi.
Yeah, he's all good.
Yeah.
He's
But
good
how lovely was
throughout.
that movie?
Yeah, it's a beautiful film. And I would love to take that challenge someday, if it comes. So I'm not saying no to anything. In fact, I feel like, because I'm not the same person I was 2 months ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. So I feel differently different day. So I don't have very strong ideas about what I want to do. I just know that आज मैं ये पढ़ के मुझे क्या लगा. And आज का conviction ना, it has to stay for 2-3 years because I shot Kalkut in 2021. I shot The Hard in 2020. It came out in 23. वो तब का conviction आज तक, you have to keep that conviction for time to happen to it. And it has to sustain itself for years. And you have to believe in it for years. Because उस दिन का सच था वो, लेकिन वो लोगों को आज देखने को मिल रहा है. उसके बीच में आपने जर्नी कर ली है बहुत सारी.
विजय, उस दिन का सच कभी-कभी does it falter? मतलब, do you ever look back and say, यार, maybe that wasn't, like, because as you said, you're evolving, right?
Yeah.
तो कभी-कभी उस दिन का सच, does it not pan out?
उस दिन के सच से आप डिटैच हो सकते हो थोड़ा सा, and that helps. बट उसको ना जज करना इज नॉट नाइस, बिकॉज उस टाइम पे बहुत ज़रूरी था ये.
Right. So no judgment, no regrets.
No judgment, no regrets. It can only be like, and because this is not in your control, you can regret for things that are in your control. Because you made those mistakes. But you saying yes to that project and shooting it a certain way and agreeing to, okay, take of a director and living with a scene that you didn't believe in, all those mistakes you made that day and you made peace with it. Then, cut to 3 years later, you moved, you're getting Oscar nomination and you feel like you've done a shit show back then. But उस टाइम पे ज़रूरी था.
Right.
So you can't judge your old past self, especially when you did everything in your capacity to give your 100% when it was happening. So for my entire focus is to make sure that today, आज का 100% मेरे को देना है, because this will last.
Yeah, yeah. Vijay, what about commercial considerations? Right? What about a film that opens on 3,000 screens? You've said that I would rather be a log in a good director's film than be the lead in the film of a director I don't admire.
Yeah.
But you're not seduced by just the event film or the opportunity to be in some kind of a blockbuster?
I am interested in it. It's just that they have to find the right kind of role for me. I've not had opportunities that I was blown by, and right now, the conversation that are happening, I've not met people who are like very certain कि ये तो theatre में आएगी, so it's like a little dubious. And what I meant of working with a director or a crew that you really love is I like the credibility that it brings, because box office numbers and all, they don't stay with the hearts of people. Pankaj Tripathi said it nicely. He said कि आप चर्चित या तो चर्चित बनने की कोशिश करें या यादगार बनने की कोशिश करें.
How lovely.
तो चर्चित होना is not my goal. I want to be memorable.
You're very memorable, to the point where I'm having nightmares about your characters.
Those are bad memories.
Bad memories. I texted you to say that,
Yeah.
bloody hell, you've just, you really put dread in my heart.
I'm so sorry.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
But you've said to get out of these characters, to get out of Anand in Dahad, or maybe even Hamza in Darlings, you've talked to your mom. Because when you speak to her, you shed that person
Yeah.
you're playing and
Yeah.
you become the son again.
Yeah.
Tell me about these conversations. What are you actually talking about?
I don't talk about work at all. I just ask her what was her day like, and she'll tell me simple things like, वो मेरा घर किशनगढ़ वाला तेरा मामा बोल रहा है कि उसको बेचना है, मेरे को तो नहीं बेचना है. मैं कहा खरीद ले. कह रहे वो रहेगा कौन. मैं कहा खरीद देते हैं. तो इस तरह का just get back to
Routine.
her life, and what her concerns are, what is bothering her, and where is her heart right now, stuff like that.
Does she know she's a part of your process?
I don't think she knows. She's very simple. She's just like, she meets me and she immediately treats me like how I was before I left home. So things have not happened to her. What happened to me, which is very, very refreshing.
And then once you've sort of, as you speak to her, you find yourself becoming yourself again.
Yeah, I just realized that I'm not very important.
Kishangarh ka ghar is more important. That's lovely.
Yeah, I just realized I'm not the most important thing, because that's what one can believe in,
Yeah.
and ups and downs. Like, I'm not the worst person, I'm not the best person. None of these are there. I'm just her son, and you just go back to your memory of how you were as a kid around her, and it just goes on with my father as well. It's just not my mother. My father and I share a even more complex and dynamic relationship, and it has been evolving. It was started with a great deal of love when I was a little boy, then the great deal of hero worship that I had for him in my younger days. He used to fulfill every demand of mine. I was the youngest, so I was spoiled until I came to an age where I started to have my own thoughts, and he didn't like it. He wanted me to join the business, and I wanted to do anything but work with him. So that's where the conflict started, and he was also strong about his stand, and I was fighting for my stand. It went on for years until I decided, I don't think this man wants what is good for me. Then I ran away from home. And then there was 7-8 years of no talking. And then we kind of came to a place where he was able to sit with me in the room. To now where we are able to sending me good morning bhajans.
That's so sweet.
Sending me photos of what he's seeing on news, and some recipe that he found which will cure a bad throat. Just beautiful, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my mother today sent me 5 anti-aging fruits I should eat every morning. That is love.
I've not had this for years, so I'm very, very happy with this.
How lovely. How lovely.
So I got a bit
Emotional. Oh, no, but listen, it's wonderful. you've been through it. You really, really put yourself through the ringer for
Yeah.
what you love. And they must see that now because you're so good. Do they see it?
Yeah, they see it.
Hai na?
Yeah. Sorry about this.
Not at all. Not at all. But I wanted to ask you if you ever, when you see yourself on screen,
Yeah.
do you ever become afraid of yourself?
Sometimes I'm surprised at how believable I could be in selling that moment.
Yes.
And I'm like, God, I don't know what happened to me at that time. How was I able to? I have no idea. But I psych myself up to play such parts, and they're not easy. So I have to really brainwash myself at times.
But do you ever think, wow, like what inside of me allows me to be this?
I was glad that in my acting school there was a teacher, and I used to do exercises, 20 students in one classroom. I felt all 19 are better than me when I entered the film school. Jaideep was in my class.
Jaideep Alawat.
Jaideep Ahlawat was class. Rajkumar Rao was in my class. Pitobas Tripathi is in my class. Sani Hinduja in my class. And they're all actors I'm naming who've made it to a certain degree. And there are a host of other actors who are still fab, but it's just a matter of time. So I used to be very underconfident. And I used to have these exercises where they would put me like, you are playing two brothers, so you have to ask money to this brother, but not ask it directly and stuff like that, just exercises. And I used to see that everybody is doing a great job. And one of the feedback that I received when I was a young student was, they said, you're a very passive partner in an acting class. Like every time you're doing a scene, you're not active, you're passive. It stayed with me. Then I went back to this teacher. He said, do some kind of a spiritual work, some kind of self-discovery, just write, journal, do something that you need to understand why are you so passive. Yeah. Then my work started. I started to do something. I started journaling. Then I went on a spiritual path for 8-9 years that I haven't ever spoken about. Through that process, there was a lot of issues that I had, which I kind of saw. A lot of things got addressed in the course of that. And I found a great deal of understanding of who I am. And if I had not done that work, I would not have been able to drop those inhibitions and judgments of all kinds of characters I have played. And that is an essential tool for actors to really have. I feel like the brain is far more capable of creating more multidimensional characters. We restrict ourselves. I may have reservations of the people I'm playing. I may not like them. I may even be not okay looking at myself playing this part, but I'm not doing it I'm not my audience. Audience are somebody else, and the story is the main event. And the story is incomplete without the presence of this shade. And the starker the shade it is written, the starker you need to make it for the story to work. Yeah. So yeah, that's my process. And I took that decision in Pink. I knew that I'm playing a molester. And it was the first time. Again, I was very scared, very, very, very scared. I'm like, I've never played anything like this. Sujita said, but your audition was good. I'm like, but I don't know if I can. He's like, no. Put me in that car with Taapsee. Taapsee was super supportive. I did that scene. And then I realized, oh God, it is like if you play act to be an asshole, it is so easy. And that kind of work happens when you do any kind of active meditations. Because they ask you to do stuff that breaks your body. Like it kind of opens your mind. They even encourage you to act the thing until you get to a place where it becomes organic.
Right.
In meditations also it happens.
Right.
So I'd done that kind of process. So I know how to come to a place now.
Wow.
Through sheer manipulating your brain.
Well, you're clearly very skilled at it.
I'm getting there.
Vijay, you and I first met in 2013 at the Cannes Film Festival.
Yes.
Yeah, Monsoon Shootout, which was such a fine film, but didn't do much for you. You had to wait another 6 years before Gully Boy released.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you know, you're the toast of town, and there are all these people, obviously, you know, chasing you. You said that I've never kept a book of the people who refused me. But kabhi, kahin par, मतलब अंदर कुछ, you feel
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sense
yeah.
of I showed you?
I showed you nahi.
हाँ.
I kept the book for a long time.
अच्छा थी book, थी.
I kept the book for a long time, but with some success, I was like, इसकी ज़रूरत ही नहीं है, हटाओ इसको. So that's what happened.
Meaning,
They didn't have any power anymore over me.
right.
And it is essential. I want every young actor who is going through rejections right now to not take it personally.
But what also kept you sane, Vijay, in those long years was also the fact that you were doing theatre, right? You said that theatre makes you better,
Yeah.
and it was better to get better than to stay the same
Yeah.
and keep getting rejected,
Yeah.
which is just the most sorted way to you know,
Yeah.
process this and to handle it.
You said it better than me, because I wanted to keep improving, because I'm like, if this version of me is not getting accepted, I don't see this getting accepted 2 years later. So why not keep improving, learn something, maybe. And it's also a very active way of spending time, because वो जो तुम जो 1-2-3 साल इन्वेस्ट करोगे, वो उसमें बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हो आप.
Yeah. Yeah.
And theatre, I believe anything that you do on stage where there are not more than 100, 250, 500 people involved, it requires another level of discipline, and you know that if you are corrupted or not as an actor, कि तुमको एक्सपीरियंस पे रिलाई करने लग गए हो, तुम प्रेपरेशन कम करने लग गए हो, तुमने लाइंस ठीक से नहीं पढ़ी है, तुमने डिक्शन पे काम नहीं किया है, ये सारे एकदम ऑन द फेस आ जाएंगे स्टेज पे जाते ही.
मतलब वो दूध का दूध, पानी का
पानी
पानी.
का पानी. And not one person will see it, every person in the hall will see it, because they are very sharp and they are seeing you in person. They can tell you're trembling inside. They can tell everything. So deception काम नहीं आता theatre में.
हाँ.
It can only sustain for a couple of shows, but it can't. So it's a very, I'm very scared of doing stage right now, because I feel like बहुत corrupt हो गया हूँ मैं.
Listen, you're at that point now where you are doing a film with Kareena Kapoor,
जी.
right? Devotion of Suspect X, and
Yeah.
she's saying in interviews that Saif warned her कि भैया विजय और जयदीप के साथ काम कर रहे हो, you better be on your
I'm
toes.
glad Saif was around, because Kareena wouldn't have known who we are.
I'm sure that's not.
She's like, who are these two boys?
Listen, she said working with you transformed her.
No, I love her, and that's why I'm taking the liberty of joking about this. I absolutely love and adore her. And Saif, both, they are both brilliant, beautiful people.
Yeah.
So that's why I took the liberty to crack
But
this
what
joke.
was the shoot like? Because she said working with the two of you just transformed her.
That I have no idea about. I just remember we, all three of us, have a very interesting equation in the story. And I don't know how to say this without spoiling. And me and Jaideep have an equation in the story which is kind of similar to the equation that him and I have in life.
Which is what?
Of, nah, I can't tell.
Acha, theek.
It's a,
No, don't spoil,
okay,
don't spoil.
okay.
Huh?
And I just saw her to be one of the most easy to work with and sincere actor around, and that saves so much. And she was really like, I was just watching her and personally learning from her, because she really knows how to light up the frame. Like, she knows when she's doing something and there's a change of energy, and it's so palpable. Personally, about Kareena, I don't know, I feel very honored that, you know, she feels like this, but I can't wait to for the world to watch this film.
You know, you've become that actor that sort of other people like warn each other about uske saath acting karni hai. How lovely is that? How wonderful is that? Vijay, do you ever think about overexposure? Is that still a thing? You know, ek waqt tha where people would say, nahi, actor overexposed ho jata hai. Is that still a thing, or are we in a different world now?
I think repetitiveness, I understand, because it can be a bit boring for people who are watching you, who love you and who follow your work. But I don't know, if you enjoy the work and something new is brought, I don't think people feel like you're overexposed.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. I have had one release in 2021, which was OK Computer. I've had one release in 2022, which was Darlings. I've had 2 releases this year, which is The Hard and Love Stories. So I don't think I have to worry about overexposure, because literally I'm doing 1 film a year. Yeah. This year, somehow they're coming together. So let's see, maybe I will get overexposed and then I'll hide in some gufa.
So, you know, a couple of months ago, I interviewed Tamanna and I asked her that when 2 people are both actors and are partners, is there a lot of conversation about process and acting? And she said, you ask him. So I'm asking you.
Yeah, there is. I mean, I like to. When I started out, I thought I would not be with an actress or anybody from the industry, just because I probably was very angry at the industry. And so when we started seeing each other, I found so much value in having somebody who knows the game, who knows the business, who understands the artistic, the creative, the logistic, the financial, all sides of the movie making.
Because it's very specific.
It's so specific to this industry, and her experience and her good work and good sense really helps me a lot. She brings perspective to many things. Sometimes I'm just suffering because I'm feeling a certain way in a day, because I did something, some interview had said something, and she brings a perspective immediately. And she'll tell me I did that and I got away with it. I'm like, okay.
Okay, I have to talk to you about the fashion. So
Now fashioning.
I love that you are a style icon, okay, and you have amazing taste, and I must say that I've stolen one of your outfits, so which someday I shall
Flaunt,
absolutely. But here's the thing. So I had asked Diljit, right? Because Diljit, the first time I interviewed him was in, I think it was just a white shirt and very, very, sort of conservatively dressed, etc. And then the second time I interviewed him was Gucci head to toe and like really snazzy. And I said to Diljit, Diljit, ये fashion sense always थी क्या? And he said, always थी, पैसे नहीं थे.
Same. I'm telling you, when I went to the film school, I was that guy in Hyderabad who knew all the new shops. I had numbers of the people who were selling. I used to buy a new shirt, new pant, something, chashma, some topi. I was into all these things because I had the resources back then. I was having also all the time because I barely went to college. Because I had like nil attendance for 3 years. I didn't go for a single class. I spent all the time playing pool, snooker, video games, and roam outside girls' college.
And dressing up.
Yeah. So I was a chaila. So then I went to FTI. I think something changed there. My love for movies and acting took over every other. Like I broke up with the girl I was with. I just left everything. And I just completely focused on this one thing which I didn't understand, which was movies. I had not seen movies growing up. So I had to watch movies, learn about acting, interact with other students. And in the process of all that, I remember when I came to Bombay first time, I went to buy a pair of jeans or something, and it was like 5,000 rupees for a Levi's pair. And I was like, jeans to 800-900 की हुआ करती थी, कब बढ़ गया rate? Because I literally saw inflation after 3-4 years of completely missing, the shopping. And then I came and it was barely hand to mouth for years. उसमें क्या fashion? But I was told that I was always well put together, even when I had very little. Like somebody was telling me, I've sent me own pictures. I'm always like sharp, well put together. But we didn't have. I had maybe 2 pairs of jeans and 4 shirts and maybe 1 pair of shoes for years.
But you made that work.
I made that work.
Nice. Love it. Love it. Okay, it's time now, Vijay, for the binge list. Are you a binger?
I am. I have been. I've been a binger ever since I went to the film school because I found a small DVD player with a screen.
I remember those.
And then put a DVD.
Yeah.
And
You
put the
portable,
headphones on.
right? You could take them anywhere.
It was pre-laptop because I couldn't afford one. So this 7-inch was my binging fest. And I saw world cinema on that 7-inch screen.
Tell me now, if you like a show, Vijay, can you like go all night? Do you do those?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I do that very often. It's especially when I'm not shooting. On the day I'm shooting, I make sure that I don't look at my video game and TV. Both.
So what's the last show you did this for?
I watched Jubilee and Ji Karda in a week's apart, and 2 nights both. Finished
Really?
them, yeah.
Okay, that's impressive. Is there a genre you're partial to?
Sci-fi, I have a soft heart for. Anything with sci-fi, I'll probably give it a try and then see if it sticks. But binging shows-wise, I like drama. I think I'm a big sucker for dramas. Anybody who gives a good drama. And I'm a big lover of fantasy adventure. So the Game of Thrones, The Lord of the Rings, The Witcher, all of these are my favorite genres.
Okay, what's the last performance in an Indian series that made you jealous?
Siddhant was very good in Jubilee.
Yeah.
It was a very bright performance and very nuanced one. Didn't make me jealous, I celebrated it. I feel like a boy like that entering the industry at this time only improves the game for everybody.
Nice.
It brings in the right kind of competition for everybody who's not deserving of it.
Is there a film that's shaped you as an actor?
A lot of films actually. I think Namesake left a very strong mark as to how much silences mean. And
Also a film about fathers and sons.
yeah, theme and mother and
Yeah.
father or husband and wife. Irfan left a huge mark with whatever he did. I think I really enjoyed Nasir Saab's command over his speech and his incredible characterizations that he is capable of. I was blown by several films. I think Serpico left the biggest impact.
In what way?
Because it showed cop and undercover cops in a way that I've never seen before. It was so original, and it also showed what an actor is capable of in a film. There is a graph that Pacino's character goes through, and there is a physical transformation that a character goes through. What it means to be in the system and beat the system and fight the system. There's so many recurring solid themes in the film. It felt like a complete film to me. And I was like, one actor is capable of doing so much in a film. And that was eye-opener.
Would you say that then Pacino is the actor you emulated when you were growing up?
Yeah, I used to copy Pacino. I've seen both Robert De Niro and Al Pacino. I remember watching some student films that I had done. And I'm doing a little bit of De Niro. And I had done something which I think I did a show called Ragdesh with Tigmanshu Dhulia. And one of the critics, I think Saibal Chatterjee?
Saibal Chatterjee, yeah.
He wrote that gives a very young Robert De Niro. I was very happy of myself.
How lovely. Now, you've played some great bad guys, but are there villains you admire?
I like the bad guys. As I mentioned, like Tony Montana is like all-time favorite. I think. Oh yes, Cape Fear.
Robert De Niro
Robert De
again.
Niro and Cape Fear.
Yeah.
My God, what a menace!
Terrifying.
What a menacing man, and what a tough guy. They're beating him with steel rods, and he's like, खुजाया मेरे को. अच्छा लगा खुजाया मेरे को.
with all those tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It was such a scary part.
So, can fictional characters like this Cape Fear person, do they scare you, or are you've done it and done it so well that it's taken the sort of the dread out of it for you?
No, cafe will scare me at any time. It's and the more you know about life and you understand life better, this film will scare you even further. Because when I saw it, I didn't have a family, I didn't have a house, I didn't understand what a wife and a daughter means. I didn't understand what your wealth means to you or what your status means to you. Right now, it'll hit different, you know. So I feel like good piece of stories will keep giving you more and more. They're waiting for you to upgrade yourself and come back. कि सॉफ्टवेयर अपग्रेड करके फिर देख like how good poetry is, you know, you'll understand more of it, and but just 4 lines, but they'll mean more to you because life has happened.
Yeah.
So this is happening. I've made a list of some films that I want to revisit because I was like, I didn't have the brains.
Like what?
Like the bicycle thief. Of course, I want to watch Solaris because उस टाइम पे सो गया था हम लोग स्क्रीनिंग में.
FTR में देखी होगी.
Yeah.
हाँ.
I slept in the archives. It was very pleasant. Really nice evening nap.
What are some of your favorite series, Vijay?
I've enjoyed so many of them, and I'm an avid watcher. So I think I got into series with, I believe, Game of Thrones. That's my entry into it. And I was like, this is it. This is my life. I just want to wake up and watch series. That's it. मेरे को यही करना है. How do I make this happen? How do I do that one ad and then just come back home and get the money for the entire month and just watch?
What a life that would be.
Yeah, that's my retirement plan. To just sit in a nice grandmama's couch and watch series and play video games and garden a bit.
Sounds terrific. फिर
Yeah.
उसके बाद after Game of
So
Thrones?
Game of Thrones was one, and then True Detective was one of those that I was like, this is masterclass storytelling. True Detective season 1 is, I believe, the gold standard in series in a long format. I enjoyed The Nick a lot. Show by Steven Soderbergh with Clive Owen in it. Set in the late 1800. He's a surgeon. Science is just finding itself. There's no X-ray machine. Penicillin is just around the corner. They're still using heroin as a, sedative. So it's very early science and how people were doing surgeries and finding. Mental health का तो कुछ में कुछ अंदाजा ही नहीं है. They're like, if there is something wrong in people's head, they're like, इसके दांत निकाल दो. दांत में germs होते हैं. वो गम्स में बैठ जाते हैं, उसको निकालने से ठीक हो जाएंगे, या चर्च लेके जाओ. So all such things are there. What else?
Indian ones?
The first that I got into, which I found so impressive, was a show called Bring on the Night. Not many people know about this show. This was just at the cusp of television meeting web series. I think MTV का था वो. Vishwesh Krishnamurthy, the guy who made 99 songs.
Right.
I believe.
Huh.
He directed a mini series. It has Arjun Mathur, Hussain Dalal, Sarang, Sathe, and host of other incredible actors who eventually became their own full selves. Like they found great cinematic landscape for themselves. It was very beginning, and that show blew my mind. It was so good, and I feel I'm a big Sacred Games fan. Season 1 was iconic.
It was.
And I'm also part of another iconic show called Mirzapur.
Yes.
It's one of my favorite shows.
Of course you are.
I mean, I was a fan first because I entered in season 2. I was a fan in season 1. Then that's the reason why it was easy for me to enter the series. I think Patal Lok is one of my favorites. And what a compelling performance overall by the team and Jaideep particularly. Yeah, these are my favorites. And Jubilee I enjoyed a lot recently.
Yeah. If you could act in the remake of an international series, which one would you pick?
Fleabag. I would play the hot priest. I don't have the skills and the talent to play the main character. She's too good.
Your first acting job was in Rajan DK's short film.
Yeah.
Right? Sure. Now, if you could pick one of their series, would you pick Farzi or would you pick Family Man?
I mean, I'm a Family Man fan first, and then Farzi happened. There is good in both, but because my first interaction with their universe was Family Man, so and I'm a big Manoj Bajpayee, and my friend Sani is in it, so.
And who are three directors on your bucket list?
I think Sriram Raghavan, Vikramaditya Motwane, and Dibakar Banerjee,
Nice.
and Vishal Bhardwaj.
Acha, chal, take 4. How lovely.
Yeah.
Who are three actors you would love to work with? Who you haven't so far?
Oh God, that's a long list for me. I want to work with Tabu in a big capacity. We shared one fleeting moment in Suitable Boy, but I would like to explore a solid relationship with her on screen. That would be really nice for me personally. I want to work with Ranbir Kapoor. I find him very fascinating performer.
Yeah.
Such a physical actor, and there are some that are not around that I wanted to work with. Irfan Saab. Hey, I want to work with Ranveer again. What a blast he used to work with.
Really?
Yeah. I had a best time shooting Gully Boy with him. He's so good. He's one of the most gifted, one of the most giving co-actor. So good.
He's generous.
He's really generous as a co-actor. And so much delight to work with. I miss him. Yeah.
Well, listen, it was fantastic. I hope the two of you get together
Yes.
very soon.
Yes.
Gully Boy was like hands down my favorite film of 2019.
Thank you so much. It was
Loved
mine
it.
as well.
Yeah,
it
loved
changed
it.
the life. It changed my life.
Yeah, it was so good, and you were so good. Okay, segment 3, Vijay, you will pick those up. Those are Polaroids of your Instagram posts.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you for the behind the scenes
All right.
stories
Okay.
of what this was. So, Vijay, look at that picture, and your caption is "Ho gayi tasalli." FTII Zindabad. Tell me the behind the scenes story. ये क्या हो रहा था?
There was the whole of Instagram was doing 10-year challenge of how you were 10 years ago and how you are now. And 10 years ago, I was playing a girl in a play set in 1930s. I'm playing a nice Bengali girl. You can't tell, but I did everything. I'm wearing the Bengali style sari. I'm wearing a banyan because I was quickly changing into an old man right after this scene.
You were multitasking.
I was doing 5 roles in this play.
Budget थोड़ा कम था?
नहीं, budget कम नहीं था. All the big roles went to other amazing actors. I was left with whatever little pieces of nuggets, and I made something out of it, and I got the maximum claps.
Nice.
I
Next.
was typecast as a girl.
After this?
Yeah. So I did another short film in FTI as a girl. So I had to fight that typecasting early on.
It's just the story of your life.
I've played a very formidable girl on screen. I'll show
Nice.
it to you someday.
Really?
Yeah.
Acha. Next one. Your caption is Blast from the Past. Found some of my favorite audio cassettes at home in Hyderabad. Damn, I spent months on these. How
Yeah.
lovely. Tell me
Yeah.
more.
So it's cut to like early 90s when you understand that music is something that really is fun. Michael Jackson's Bad was around. My father was a big fan. And so sometimes the day would start with Michael Jackson first thing. And my brother started to dance on him. So he's learned breakdance just watching Michael Jackson videos. So we've heard that tape so much कि वो घस गया था. And my father used to enjoy this Umar Sharif comedy cassettes, audio cassettes, and they were so good. We used to really laugh. And there was Johnny Lever also, which I couldn't find. Madonna also my father's influence. Tum To There Pardesi is my Marwadi family influence. And Style Bhai is me because my first love for hip hop happened with Style Bhai. There's actually a rapper who came. His name was Style Bhai. He was a big thing in Hyderabad. You say yo, ऐसे namaste. You say what's up, ऐसे क्या करते? अरे Bombay. It's like very good. I love it. So when I went back, which I don't know which year this is, maybe the lockdown time, then we had all the time to do all these things.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The next one is Honey, I just photobombed the legend.
There was no honey in my life, but yeah.
What were you doing here?
Okay, so this is after we finished the Delhi schedule. We are shooting in Film City in a set we built for the courtroom, and I don't have any scene with Mr. Bachchan in the first half of the film. In the courtroom also we don't have scene, but I'm there. So Tapsi, he's probably standing there doing his lines. Tapsi goes back and she just does a little bit and then runs away. And I happen to go after her. And I got encouraged कि उसने ऐसे किया तो मैं भी कुछ करता हूँ. Then I went a little extra and that got caught. And I see all these security guards, all the safari suit clad army of Mr. Bachchan really giving me a side eye. And so I did this, and next day he came on the set and he was like, "You come, bring my laptop, come, everybody come." ऐसे करके सबको put the laptop on the table, opened. I want to show you what you guys did. Opened his blog. He used to write blog, maybe. His blog. Scroll through. Come to this picture. This is what you do behind me. This is what you do. And I'm thinking, is he serious or not? And Shujitda is like, what does this mean?
Were you scared?
I was scared for a second. I was like, what did I do?
Yeah.
But it was basically, he was trying to be cute.
Yeah, yeah. And he's very funny.
Yeah, he's damn funny.
He's very funny.
He's damn funny.
Okay, the next one is sonography results shows that I've developed a cyst in my palm. Yeah, it's quite sad, but the silver lining is that it's chosen to take the shape of a heart. That makes it slightly better, no? Jaan hateli par, kya hashtag hai?
Wow. I was so good with my captions. What happened to me? I hate success.
मेरे captions का, my
I would
art.
have made a great living writing captions. No,
ये
but
क्या हुआ था?
so I had a cyst here, which was like a small lump, and I had to get it checked, and it kept giving me pain every few weeks. Aata hai, and then 3-4 days I can't move my hand properly, lift anything. Then I had to get this one, and I found that it actually looks like a heart right here, chotu sa. So I made such a great story out of this. It was just a minor surgery.
So there's an alternative career in case, if you ever wish to.
Yeah.
And I love the last one, where you just say my hobbies are.
Yeah.
ये क्या हो रहा था? आप कहाँ सो रहे हो?
This is during Kalkut. So I am moving from Banaras to some other place, and I knew that I had this many hours because I had to do a brand, like a fashion designer's photo shoot, and I wanted to look pretty. So I wanted to get a beauty nap on the way, and Karan, my assistant, he was around. He made sure that I get the best sleep, like a business class flatbed experience in a Innova car. So he's put the local towel he found to cover the. So like asked me to wear a hoodie. And then carried the pillow. And this is just one picture. So I really love naps. I really like taking naps. It's one of my favorite things to do in life. So I take a nap everywhere. That's my hobby.
Nice. Well, you do well. Apparently, napping is very good for you.
Yeah.
So it is a superpower to be able to sleep like this.
Yeah. So I heard somewhere Shah Rukh Khan Saab said ki if you want to be successful, give up on good hygiene, good food, good life, something to that effect. Like your life is going to be tough. You're going to be not getting enough sleep, enough food. You won't eat on time. You won't sleep on time. And I was like, God, I don't know. I don't think I have it in me. I really need my 8 hours sleep, and I need my afternoon nap as well.
I love that. That just kind of humanizes all these awful men you've played.
Yeah.
Because when I watch them and get scared, I'll just remember, no, it's an actor who needs to take a nap. Vijay,
Perfect.
thank you so much.
Thank
It
you.
was so lovely to speak with
It was absolute pleasure. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. You come. Bring my laptop. Come, everybody come. ऐसे करके सबको order. Put the laptop on the table. Open. I want to show you what you guys did. Open this blog. He used to write blog maybe. This blog. Scroll through. Come to this picture. This is what you do behind me. This is what you do. And I'm thinking, is he serious or not? And Shujitda is like,